So during the unbelievable hype of the All-Star festivities, note my sarcasm there, Sidney Crosby had a very interesting comment echoing what a lot of fans have been saying. It's time to rethink how the Stanley Cup playoffs work. Crosby argued that with the current system, there's no incentive for teams to push beyond really second or third place in their division because they pretty much always will have the same matchups. In the 1-8 system the NHL used to use, you always wanted to continue to rank up in your conference so you could get overall the worst team. For those who don't know, by the way, here's how it works out. The top seed in each division plays the wildcard team, while the second and third teams play each other. That means, for example, in the Atlantic, it's almost certain that Toronto is going to have to play Tampa Bay again this year. Realistically, they're not going to catch Boston at the top of their division, and even if they fall to 3, it's still Tampa. In the old style, where teams played 1-8 in the conference straight up, Toronto would have the chance to play the Rangers or perhaps even a wildcard team if they finish out the season strong. Looking at last year's playoffs, for example, in the East, Toronto plays Boston instead of Tampa. The Rangers get Tampa now. In the West, although Edmonton was second place in their division, they actually have to play up because overall they're only 5th in the conference, so they're going against St. Louis. You probably understand how this plays out. Personally, we're also only a few years into this method, but I also don't like seeing the same first round matchups over and over again. I understand the point was to try to create playoff rivalries, but that'll happen naturally with there only being so many good teams making it into the first round. We saw so many Washington-Pittsburgh games that the rivalries naturally formed. I don't know. I think you want to encourage teams to climb as much as they can within their conference. 1-8 works best for that. Other suggestions I've seen people put out there is just 1-16 fully in the NHL. Total chaos, teams in the West playing teams in the East. I don't really like that. I do think it's kind of cool to have some repeated matchups in conference. Just going fully free with it is a bit too much. Others have argued, well, there should be a play-in round. That's something that I've talked about too. Giving the opportunity for the 9th and 10th ranked teams to play in for that 8th spot perhaps. Maybe 7 as well. That's not something you guys were behind. I totally understand that. I think it could be interesting, but we won't spend time relitigating it today. Let me know what you think though. Should the NHL change its playoff format or is it fine as is right now? I look forward to reading all of your comments and more down below.